Okay, YouTube, today this is my 100th video, and this video is by special request. You're going to have to forgive me, but I don't remember the username that requested it, but I will post the info. Anyhow, today we're going to be covering some common cast bullet mistakes that you can be looking for while you're casting up. I actually had to go out of my way to create some instances where you would get some crappy bullets. In the bullets, well, no pun intended, but in the bullets on the actual page there, the words that you should see, I'll provide some tips that you can utilize to hopefully avoid some of these errors. But I need to get rolling here because I've got quite a few to cover. Here we have what is considered a frosted bullet. Okay, and what causes this is by having the mix too hot. Now, there's some, let me see if I can get a, I brought a couple of perfect bullets along to show the difference. This here is one that's, you know, for all intents and purposes, perfect. Okay, and as you can see, the frosted bullet kind of has, as the name suggests, kind of a frosty look. And as I began to say, a frosty bullet is caused by the mix being too hot, and as you can see, the base on this one's all screwy. But I went through and, like I said, I purposely casted some mistakes. Now, some people regard a frosted bullet as a mistake, but the way I look at it, if it weighs the same and everything, and it turns out good, use it. You know, I shoot frosted bullets. I don't have a single problem with them. But since people generally regard them as a mistake, that's why I included it in this video. So I'm going to stop right here for a second. We're going to move on to a different type. Okay, here we have some bullets where they're real goofy looking. What causes this is by either having the mold not up to temperature or by having improper mold fill out from the mix not being hot enough. Those are pretty much your two most crucial areas that you want to pay attention to. On this one, I purposely stopped filling the mold before it got to the top of the sprue plate, and as you can see, you'll get an impartial base, or in this case, no base at all. So that's the kind of thing you can chunk right back into your pot. And of course, if you're quenching, you want to make sure and go ahead and let this thing dry before you do that. Just throw it into a box of redos and then throw it back in later. And then here we just have a couple of bullets that are just all jacked up looking. You know, I'm going to take close-up pictures of all these bullets, but as you can see here, what caused this one, I don't know how well you can tell there, but see how there's a line that goes through the nose of this bullet? That's from filling the mold and then stopping, and then filling again and stopping, filling again and stopping. Basically, if you don't fill the mold in one motion, all at one time, you're going to get these types of voids as you see here. And as I said, I will take pictures of these, but I'm going to move on to one other mistake. Okay, this one's going to be the hardest to see out of all the different types of mistakes. This is just a minor case of improper mold fill out. And as you can see, the lube bands did not quite form inside the mold. You can just see very minor mistakes. Now, some shooters may go ahead and cull these bullets out and say the heck with it and shoot them, which is fine. I mean, you get some minor changes in the bearing surface of the bullet, but for all intents and purposes, these bullets will shoot just fine, no problem. But it is a mistake. Now, one other type of mistake that I was not quite able to cover because I didn't have a quite large enough supply of the bullets that, you know, showed this mistake. In fact, give me a second. I'm looking through these bullets. The one that's in the camera right now, you might be able to see it just a little bit, but there's a slight void in the base. You can also get voids in the base. Now, that comes from either not filling up the, filling out the mold properly, the melt not being hot enough, the mold not being hot enough. Not necessarily the mold. Sometimes if your sprue plate is too hot, when you go to whack open the sprue plate, you'll slice off, you'll draw out a bit of your base, and that's what causes that slight, there you go, you might be able to see it there. But that's all I've got for now. There are some other minor mistakes, but this pretty much covers most of the common ones you're going to see. And here we have some bullets that I consider to be, for all purposes, perfect. Nice round bases, no voids. All the lube bands and crimp, groove, on these 244s turned out great. This is one of my cast Makarov bullets that's been churning out such nice groups. The Lee mold throws a really nice bullet. Actually, that has a little bit of a void in the base, but for my purposes, that's nothing to write home about. So I'm going to take some photos, and the rest of this video, as I said, will just be some pictures, close up hopefully. Thanks for watching, and like I said, this has been video number 100. I've got some really good stuff planned for the future. As some of you know, I'm unemployed right now, and the funds are a little bit on the short side. So as soon as funds allow, I'm going to make some really fun videos. We're going to go into some liquid nitrogen, how to make homemade liquid nitrogen, and do some fun stuff with that. And we're going to go on to some cast SKS action. And myself and Ruger 6, we're partnering up to make a little series on the SKS. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Ruger 6 is a really stand-up guy. Harry is his name, by the way. But anyway, me and Harry are going to be working on that. And I'm going to have plenty of other videos from between now and then, like the Now of the Week and all. But if you've been watching thus far, I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and here's to 100 more.